we live? Let's see. Let's see if we're live. Okay. I think we're live now. Hey y'all, what's up? I'm a Black Beauty. I know that you guys have seen a couple of videos. Usually I just do content that is related to the diaspora. Today we're going to be talking about the Nigeria travel ban, or the UK travel ban of the Nigerian passport. I guess we're not able, and Nigerians are not able to travel to the UK. Now, as you all know, I have repatriated and I am currently living in Nigeria, but I will definitely be back and forth between Nigeria and the States. And it has been an interesting journey. There are, as a matter of fact, hold on, let me put on this headset so I can, because this headset will give more clear audio, actually. And I hope you guys are all doing well. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the videos. I know I don't say that often just because I kind of use this as like a video diary, but I want to be a little bit more intentional about this particular video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's see. Make sure all of my other are off. Yeah. Guys, just come in and like the video. Let's see. Okay, everything's all off. I'm not sure why I can't connect right now. There we go. There we go. Connected. I'm pretty sure. All right. Hope you guys can hear me. Let me just make sure. Camera and camera resolution, audio. Speaker will be here. Okay, guys. All right. So, hi guys. I'm a Black Beauty. Today I'm just going to be talking about the UK travel ban. A lot of the things that I discuss on my channel are related to the diaspora in some way. And as you all know, I am currently living in Nigeria. I've repatriated. Some of you all may know that I'm part of the Alpha Fulani tribe, and if there's a lot of controversy, but at the same time, I thought it was important for me to come back home and live abroad. Is especially since when you're working on your laptop, you can pretty much live anywhere. Why choose to live in a dangerous northeastern city in the United States of America, where you could easily be targeted? People will follow you. Crazy things are happening with Black women that look like me every day. So I decided to get a little bit of peace and tranquility by moving to the safest state in Nigeria, which is Lagos. And I live in one of the nicest areas, so at least I know I'm comfortable and I'm safe in this area. What I will say is that, if you speak to the ordinary Nigerian on a daily basis, which every day I'm speaking with people and they're giving their opinions that are unsolicited most of the time. Most of the time I'm not asking. I'm just trying to get from point A to point B, and he might be the Uber driver or maybe someone making a coffee, but a lot of people do, and then also my own friends discuss politics quite a bit just because they're impacted heavily by the decisions that are being made by a few. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today was, there with this, I know we call it Omicron, but I think it's Omicron. With this Omicron virus, COVID virus variant, what we're noticing with this Omicron is that it has become a tool that is being used to create extensions of travel bans, create new travel bans, and it's mostly impacting countries in Africa, which is unfortunate because, you know, so many of us for the diaspora have decided to repatriate various different countries in West Africa and South Africa and East Africa. I mean, I know people are in Tanzania as well. People are in Zimbabwe. People are out here in Nigeria. People are in Ghana. People are in Sierra Leone. And just a lot of people are coming back home because there is this force, there is an energy that's drawing a lot of us back to this continent. Number one, we know we were never supposed to be displaced. I mean, if you thought that you woke up looking like me or looking like LeBron James or looking like any black man, name his name, say her name, if you thought you woke up looking like any of those people and you were born in America, you were born in the UK, um, that's not likely. It really isn't. The way it is that, oh, look at this wonderful. I'll have to call him back later. Okay, look, if you thought you looked like any other black person in this world and you were born in the United States or you were born somewhere in uh, Europe or something, then you are sadly mistaken. The majority of the slaves that were taken, good 2/3 of those people came from Nigeria. And when you do your DNA, quite a few people do match DNA with Nigeria because Nigeria is an area where a lot of tribes kind of came um, and flowed through this area geographically. You have to understand that some of these borders were built up by the white man. White man. He put the he put the borders together, and so what we consider Nigeria, what we consider Chad, Somalia, Sudan, what we consider um, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, and Togo, all of these places, they are constructions of the Europeans during the scramble for Africa. Now we know that. What's happening now is Europeans and white Americans have seen us get up and um, kind of defeat all odds, whether it was slavery or what, even though we're still kind of in caste systems and things like that, they can see the black body emancipating itself. They can see black excellence coming to pass. They can see us getting up and mobilizing our bodies to different parts of the world to be able to work and drive economies. They can see that we are effective. They can see that we are excellent. They can see that we are beautiful. Um, and I don't think we were ever supposed to see that because they always knew that. They always wanted to be us. But I don't think we were supposed to ever notice that we were excellent, that we were beautiful and all, post-slavery. Of course, before slavery and all of this transatlantic slave trade, we had a very high esteem as African people. We were family-oriented and community-oriented, and we really did respect ourselves in a way that, is kind of lacking nowadays. And I think that is a good way to segue because there's a certain amount of respect of self that is missing amongst the common Nigerian where even if you're just here hanging out, you notice immediately that people believe that they believe that they're from the UK. They believe that they're Englishmen or British or whatever the fuck they believe. And it is such a hard conversation to have when a Black Nigerian person, African Nigerian, doesn't know that they are Black. Now, I've had this conversation before, so I'm not new to these conversations. I remember having a good friend that I grew up with, Jamaican. Yeah, as you know, my father, he is Jamaican by way of Nigeria. He's a Nigerian that is, was raised in Jamaica due to the slave trade. My mother is also a Nigerian that was raised in the United States due to the slave trade, and they come from the same exact tribe, which is so crazy. But what I will say is, we know that there was a conscious effort to break us away from our culture and to kind of destroy our cultural identity. And we know it better as Black Americans than almost any other set of, you know, African diaspora, groups from the African diaspora. I think we know it best because we deal with white supremacy on a daily basis, and that is up for debate. But this is one of the first times it seems in recent history that Nigerians are being confronted with this idea of Blackness. They want to know, what's up, UK? How come we can't come? So, like, this gentleman that just called me, he was supposed to be traveling this week, but now he wants to hang out every day. And I'm like, well, what happened, baby? I thought you were traveling. Well, with the UK travel ban, I don't know if he was able to get out or what he was able to do. I should ask my friend as well. I should call her and see what's going on because I know she was supposed to take a flight two or 3 days ago. Actually, Thursday, and I'm hoping that she got out because she was just getting ready to emigrate to the UK for school to get some credentials and stuff like that, and then to travel. And now with this travel ban that has been put in place for Omicron, it makes you wonder what is there to look forward to in terms of travel to the UK. And I know that's a big deal. I mean, this is like the equivalent of saying, for the Westerners, this is the equivalent of them saying you can't go to Barbados and Barbadians can't come to us, or Jamaicans can't come to us, or Haitians can't come to us, but we can't go there. It's like that. And for Nigerians, the UK is their stomping ground. It is a part of Europe where they go to get education, where they go to get culture, and they go to get, pretty much what we would consider indoctrination, in order to be able to hold some of the most high offices when they come back to Nigeria, in order to be business people and to have credibility. Because, like my friend always tell me, it's like she said, the advantage that I have being over here is that I'm coming from abroad, and Nigerians, they tend to value everything that is outside of this place. And I learned that within the first couple of days of me being, not necessarily on that tour, the first couple of days of me being in Lagos, I realized immediately that everybody wants to be somewhere else. It is disheartening, but for me, I chose to be here because I chose to repatriate and come back home. And for me, I wanted to bring my resources from abroad, whatever little bit of resources those are, and build here and contribute to this economy rather than go the other way, which is take my intellectual property and continue to bring it abroad to other places, other European and white places, which is what happens here. There's a huge issue of brain drain that happens um, here in Nigeria, and I just realized I don't have my microphone, but I hope that you guys can hear good. There's a huge issue with brain drain that happens here in Nigeria, and let me see. I really do hope, I really, really, really hope you guys can hear. There's a huge issue with brain drain that happens, and I want to just make sure that, yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear. Hold on, let me make sure. Hello? I hope you guys can see me. Hello? Oh, yeah, it does work. Okay, good. Anyway, before I'm not going to talk you guys to death. It's been 14 minutes, 15 minutes. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you guys straight to one of these news clips so you can see what's going on around here. Um, And I really do want to emphasize the fact that these are the clips that I run into, and I think they're very interesting, which is why I'm sharing them with you all. But please do your own research. Now, how about we just start with the UK adds Nigeria to travel red list among Omicron concerns. Okay, here we go. Omicron. I never say this word properly. Let me share this screen with you. Share screen from tab. All right, let's just watch this really quickly. I only watched a piece of this, but you can see what it's about.
In recent days, we have learned of a significant number of growing cases linked to travel with Nigeria. There are 27 cases already in England, and that's growing. And Nigeria now is second only to South Africa in terms of linked cases to Omicron. So today, the government has decided to add Nigeria to the travel red list, and that will be effective from 4 a.m. on Monday, which will mean that only UK citizens or residents of the UK can enter the UK from Nigeria from that point onwards, and they will have to quarantine in one of the relevant hotels. We have also decided to require pre-departure tests. That's for all inward travellers. That will be effective from 4 a.m. on Tuesday, and they will be required a maximum of 48 hours before the departure time. Now, I will stress these are temporary measures. We want to remove them as soon as we possibly can. But before we learn more about Omicron, it is right that we have these measures in place.
Okay, so right there, you know it's coming next. Now, let me just go ahead and share another tab with you really quickly because I think that this one is really effective. It's from Arise News, and it is a group, the newscasters that speak every morning. They're pretty much dissecting this, and I think it's really important that we watch. But first, before we watch this, let's go ahead and watch this one clip. It says South African president visits Nigeria to call for solidarity against travel bans. So let me go ahead and share this screen as well. I want to share this one with you. I'm actually going to. Actually, let me drop the link for the other in the chat. Let me share this screen, which is the one that says, all right, let's share this one.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa meets his Nigerian counterpart Muhammadu Buhari during an official visit in Abuja as part of a West African tour where he calls for solidarity against counterproductive travel bans. The visit comes as Nigeria on Wednesday confirmed its first cases of the new variant, Omicron, saying it had been found among 3 passengers who had traveled to South Africa.
President Buhari, the solidarity expressed by yourself and the government of Nigeria sends the strongest message. It says that as African countries, we are standing united against the imposition of arbitrary and discriminatory restrictions that are not only unscientific, but counterproductive in the long run. This is a global pandemic, and overcoming it requires that we collaborate and work together as a collective. The resulting damage to this travel ban to the economies of the countries affected will be considerable and long lasting.
West African neighbor Ghana also said it had recorded a new Omicron variant, tracing cases to Nigeria and South Africa. Cases of Omicron have been detected in numerous countries since the strain was first reported to the World Health Organization in South Africa last week, prompting border closures and travel restrictions.
Okay. All right. So you can see, a lot is going on, and quite a few people are upset about the state of the travel ban. And the travel ban started, it said, a gentleman said at 4 a.m. on Monday, this past Monday, December 6th, which leads me to believe that my friend probably got out. I haven't heard much from her, but I think she's okay. If she hadn't gotten to where she needs to go, I would have definitely heard her. But also, okay, so let's play the clip from Arise News because I thought that this was a really good clip to give you the sentiment of how the Nigerian people feel here. Uh, about this travel ban. Now, I know how my friends feel. A couple of them are like, oh, to hell with it, whatever. Like, I'll just stick around for the holidays and then bother them. But then a few people had business, and for example, a gentleman said he couldn't get to his business meeting. Everything has to be digital now. I mean, that's pretty much just been the name of the game. They're trying to keep all of us in place globally. That's not just a black thing, that is every single person. There's a global shift of power, and they're trying to keep us from interacting with one another so that we don't have solidarity as Africans, so that we don't have solidarity as human beings. So it is what it is. Now, let's see. Nigeria protests UK travel ban. Now, this is a very good one. And I watched half of this already, and I think that this is the best thing for us to do. Let's watch this and analyze, draw our own conclusions and see. Now, before I go ahead and play this clip, I want to let you guys know that living here in Lagos is popping. Regardless of what people are saying, if you have resources and you can get around, you can get things done here, and you can just jump right in into any industry as long as you have that access, which is that dollar or that person that you know. So you have to be very good at building resources and very good at managing your money when you're living here, but you can do a lot. I've made a lot of really good connections here and have already started building my brand. So I really am quite excited to be here from my own perspective. Now, the ordinary um, individual that lives here that's trying to go somewhere abroad, this heavily impacts them. And I would say almost 60 to 70% of the people that I've met that live here want to leave this place or are on the way to leaving this place or have come back from somewhere that they have developed their skill set. And that's crazy because it's not to say that you can't develop your skill set here. There seems to be a lot of great institutions here in terms of schools and higher level education opportunities. There seems to be training programs. But I think it's a mentality, right? It's a mentality where we feel like we're better if the white man touches us with his knowledge, the same knowledge that he took from us. So it's a mentality that's really deep, deep, deep rooted where people feel like they have to go out to come back in. And anyway, let's go ahead and watch it and listen.
This is what is happening. You're here. These are your children. Are you going to sit down here? No. This is what is happening. We will take this no more. We will take this no more.
Ooh, wait a second. Okay, wait a second. Sorry, I'm playing. My bad, guys, because I'm playing you the wrong video. But we're going to get to this video because this video is critical. But first, before we get to that, this is the video I wanted to play. This is from Arise, and this is the one. We'll get to that other video, maybe even in a whole nother. I'm going to do a separate video about tribal and cultural issues that I've observed here. That'll be a whole separate video, but I will play that protest video for you guys in a little bit. First, I just want to let you see what Arise News is discussing when it comes down to the travel ban, Omicron, and all that kind of UK stuff. We want to wrap that part up. Let me see. Bear with me. Let's see. Here we go. UK protests UK Nigeria protests UK travel ban. Yes, this is the one. All right, this is the one that I wanted to share with you guys.
As travelers who are British or Irish nationals who wish to enter to quarantine for 10 days after they arrive in the UK, a move which isn't cheap. It comes with a hotel bill of around $3,000. Now, that's if you got a British or an Irish passport. If you don't, you can't come. The British government says the restrictions are necessary because Nigeria is now only second to South Africa in terms of linked cases to Omicron COVID mutations. But as you may know, there have been many people from the World Health Organization to scientists who are saying that the travel restrictions are an overreaction and it's too late because Omicron is already out there.
A decision by the British government to put Nigeria on the red list just because of less than 2,000 cases of Omicron, which, by the way, did not originate in Nigeria, is unjust, unfair, punitive, indefensible, and discriminatory. The decision is also not driven by science or common sense.
Google Career Certificates provide online job training that's fast and flexible. Learn at your
You know
own
how this
pace.
can be. Skip the ad. Okay.
The fact that travel ban, the target has been slammed on some African countries, is a knee-jerk reaction that can only be detrimental to our quest to most conclusively tackle the pandemic. Instead of these reflex responses that are driven by fear and prejudice rather than science, why can't the world take a serious look at the issue of access to vaccine and ensure that it is based on the principles grounded in the right of every human being to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health without discrimination on the basis of race, religion, political belief, economic, or any other social condition.
The placement of Nigeria and other African countries on the United Kingdom's travel ban list continues to generate outrage, as many European countries that had the Omicron variant of COVID-19 were deliberately left out of the UK ban. The list of the affected countries shows that Portugal, Norway, Netherlands, Denmark, Germany, and France have high levels of Omicron variant, but are left untouched by the UK government with no restrictions. The
Actually listen to
The UK's inclusion of Nigeria on the travel red list has been described as travel appetite by the Nigerian High Commissioner to the UK, Sharafa Ishola.
I actually listened to the health secretary make the statement, and the statement he made was the fact that about 221 Omicron cases were traced to travel from Nigeria.
I'll be right back, guys, please.
To me, that's not any scientific evidence. This COVID is being managed by the World Health Organization because it's a pandemic. We are not dealing with an endemic that is peculiar to particular countries. It's a global thing. And I must say that during the first wave and the second wave, in spite of the deaths all over the world, Nigeria was able to manage COVID to the extent that for a country of 200 million population, and we only had over 200 cases and deaths of about 3,000. So, the NCDC was not, that is Nigeria, the disease control, Nigeria Center for Disease Control actually
managed the situation to the extent that we got commendation from the UN in the way the COVID first variant and the second variant were managed by Nigeria. So it's been something that all Nigerians are quite enraged. If we didn't come on the red list during the first and second wave, why should we come on account of 3 Omicron variant tested in Nigeria? We only have three people, and these 3 people are travelers to Nigeria. So this is not acceptable, and that's why we've been making it very clear that we align with the position of the Secretary General that this is travel apartheid, because there was no basis of it.
Hi everyone, Christina here from Carvana.
Sorry, guys.
A little while back, we held a focus group to answer some questions about buying your.
Sundar, your thoughts on this?
Well, we've had quite a robust response there from the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, to what I can only describe as a completely fatuous policy from the United Kingdom. But he stopped short of, announcing any banning of British Airways or Virgin, as some people have called for. But he was right on all points as far as I'm concerned. And there's been a lot of talk about racism, yes, but I like the way he put it, which is similar to how I feel. I couch it more as prejudice, because not all prejudice is racial. And at the end of the day, where Africa is concerned, I recall there was a day you and I had this conversation, Dr. Abati, about just the cliches about Africa, the way the Western media portrays Africa and all the cliches they hold so dear. You have to have flies swarming around pot-bellied children. You must have bare-breasted savages. And it's this hotbed of disease and poverty. And that is really that is what we see playing out here.
Donate 3
so
pounds.
It's really, and it's also, yes, and it's really not about black in terms of the color of skin. It's also about green, money. Because
okay, here's where I'm going to stop her. It's always about black, baby. Because the Afghanis don't got no money, but somehow they found themselves nestled in quite a few communities with no resources, and they've been given help and resources. And I'm not sure what's going on with the UK, but I can be 100% sure that there is no way that blackness doesn't play a factor. I mean, Nigeria's cases from the COVID and Omicron or whatever, whatever, Delta, whichever variant, they come from Europeans who travel here. I mean, the majority of the people that I know that say they have COVID, they're European. And it's really crazy because they're coming here, and honestly, every single person I know that said that they had COVID here in Nigeria is likely some kind of Armenian or some sort of like the other day I met a woman and she is Persian or Iranian, and she just said that she had COVID. And it's like, all of you white people have had COVID, and at the end of the day, you're bringing here to Africa. You're sitting here talking about how you lived here for 8 years, but you keep bringing diseases back and forth from the UK and from the US. And it's really unfortunate because that is a bad reflection on Nigeria. It's like they're telling Nigeria, hey, you can't come to the UK because you have cases, but those cases have been sparked by people coming here from the UK. So it's very unfair. But what I do find is that there needs to be a connection between discrimination, prejudice, and blackness. And I feel that Nigerians, maybe they are too prideful to accept that it is because of your blackness that you are being targeted by the UK. It really has nothing to do with money, because as they're going to say, Nigerians spend some of the most money worldwide when it comes to education, acquiring education, degrees and certificates and things like that. When it comes down to living, I mean, when you talk about Atlanta and you talk about black landlords, I've heard that the majority of the black landlords that are there are Nigerian. I've met nothing but well-to-do Nigerians all throughout New York and the Northeast. And then all I hear while I'm around here is that people are going back and forth to the UK, bringing their resources. So for me, if it's not blackness, then what is it? Right?
Because Africa is always in this position of waiting for the benevolence of the West. It's aid in loans and now vaccines. So this is why we have been treated in this fashion. But that is not to say that all prejudice is racial. So there's a slight distinction there. But I like the way he told them exactly how ridiculous that policy is. I was listening to Professor Neil Ferguson, one of the members of SAGE, the UK government scientific advisory, saying that Omicron cases are going to double in the UK every 3 days. They have 336 cases already. So what exactly is this point of shutting the barn door after the horse has galloped across the country and shutting out Africa to really stress the disdain that is felt for Africa? And it is pointless, it is unfair, it is utterly ridiculous and should be condemned as roundly as we have seen it be condemned. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the next thing the UK should do is apologize and lift this ban, because he made an excellent point. He made this example of him and his cousin in the same home, and because the person has a red passport, he can come in. It's the British passport holders, and obviously if you're a Nigerian but you have a residency, you can come in, and then you can quarantine under really onerous conditions. It's quite a steep amount of money, like you said, almost $3,000. So that in itself is a deterrent. You will know that, okay, we're not welcome here. I think that would have been the better approach all across board. So travelers to the UK.
Now, she's saying that the price of it is what tells you that you're not welcome because it's about money. No, your Blackness is not welcome, so they raise the price so you can't afford it. Because $3,000, believe it or not, is hard to come by if you work in this economy. I mean, I saw my job posted on, so when I was on LinkedIn and Indeed, before I put on my VPN, I thought I was in Nigeria, so it's giving me jobs in Nigeria, and I'm seeing something like 400,000 for the year, Naira, and I want to know, I don't know if that's per month, but even if it is, hold on, let's see, 400, 1, 2, 3, 4, 400,000 divided by 15. This has to be monthly because this can't be for the year. $727 for the month. It got to be monthly. But even still, that's not a lot of money. And if you think about it, if you multiply that by 12, then you end up only making about $8,000 a year. Now, $8,000 a year can't even really get you one of the swanky apartments if you're paying for the whole year. If you want to be a lucky phase one in a beautiful apartment with marble and all of these things, you're paying that price. So imagine if you are working here and you're not doing anything outside of your job to make money, like you don't have, all you're doing is your basic job, your office job, and literally those people are living on the mainland and they're paying a lot less rent and they can't afford to live in the places that they want to live. And overall, it seems like people can't afford to have choices out here based on the kind of money they make. So I want to know how you get $3,000 for $727. Now, let's divide that by 12, bring me back to the 727. And now minus, actually, I'm going to go multiply by 5. If you multiply the 727 by 5, you have to pretty much do 5 months of work in that technology job. That's pretty much my same exact career, but it's staffed here in Nigeria. You'd have to do 5 straight months to be able to afford to pay for the quarantine price when you get to the UK. So right there, when she says it's a deterrent because of the amount of money, no, the Blackness is the reason, sweetheart. The deterrent is that they don't want you there. You're not welcome, and so you have to pay if you want to play. There are people that I've met here who have that money. They will pay because they have things to do. There are people who have that money who will not pay because they say, to hell with the UK. I don't really have anything to do there but see my cousin or my uncle, and they can wait. So it's all about how critical it is for you to be there, whether you work there and you need to return there. I think that if a person's going to go see their family for Christmas in the UK and they can't make it because of this travel ban, they're not going to pay that $3,000 cost to be able to, quarantine for 2 weeks. Now, let's say someone wants to travel today. Today is the 7th. Now, they travel today and they get there by tomorrow, with all the traveling throughout the day. Let's say they take a flight tonight, they get there in the morning. Everything is the same time zone, no problem. They got to sit for 14 days now. So they're going to be sitting until the 22nd and pretty much will only have 2 or 3 days before Christmas. And that's only if they're traveling today or yesterday. If you travel any day beyond, Thursday, you probably won't be able to see your family for Christmas based on the quarantine schedule, 2 weeks that you would have to pay to stay in those fancy places. To to be monitored by the UK government. And it is a grab for money, yes, but they're grabbing money because it's in exchange for your blackness. It's like, let me grab this money from you since you want to be so close to white people so badly. It really is. It really is disgusting. But at the same time, when will Nigeria and when will Black people learn throughout the globe that we are not welcome in Europe? We are not really welcome in the United States, but because we've done so much of the building and we have contributed heavily to the culture, we pretty much own that bitch. But it's not ours anyway. So I feel like most people should be making their way to Africa and bringing their resources with them instead of worrying about travel bans to places that don't support us. Now let's keep going.
UK, no matter whether you're a tourist or a resident or a citizen, you will know this is the condition. If your trip is that important, you can do it. But to single certain people out and not others, it's just, fatuous, ridiculous, really.
Dr. Batu?
Well, in the last 24 hours, since we first discussed this subject, there have been developments, and those developments are interesting on both sides of the spectrum. From the Nigerian side, it was good to see the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, come forward to condemn the step that has been taken against Nigeria by the United Kingdom, to wit putting Nigeria on the red list on the basis of the 3 reported cases of Omicron in Nigeria and allegations or reports from France and Canada that persons who traveled through Nigeria, have been spotted with the Omicron variant. I think we will all agree with the minister that what has been done does not follow the science. It's indefensible, it's unjust, and it was also done in a very shabby manner. The Nigerian authorities were given 30 minutes notice for a country that shares strong trade relations with Britain and that has very strong historic and cultural ties with Britain. I think it's a great insult, big insult for the Nigerian people to be treated in such a shabby manner. The Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, to the Court of St. James, also yesterday did the media rounds, the international media, from BBC to Arise News, in which he echoed the statement by Antonio Guterres, the UN Secretary General, and also pointed out that, in fact, there were persons, who had come to Nigeria and had returned to the UK, who are, resident in the UK. Okay, what is the difference if they're coming from the same destination? But I think that the Nigerian government should go a few steps further. It's not enough to do the media rounds or to address the press. I think the Nigerian government should go ahead and summon the British High Commissioner in Nigeria to put across our protest formally through the diplomatic channel and to put it on record that this is unacceptable to us. That will be raising the level of the protest. Second, there are many of us who have recommended reciprocal action. And, look, we talk about equality of states in international law, in international relations. But you see, some states force the issue. They try to show that some animals in the international kingdom are more superior to the other. But as a sovereign state, you also have the right to engage in reciprocity, which is the language that bullies within the international arena understand. And some of the recommendations have been that Nigeria should also go ahead and put Britain on a red list. Since the protocols that Alhaji Lai Mohammed articulated yesterday, do not seem to be adequate for Britain. Then we place a ban on all travels from the United Kingdom, with the exception of Nigerians who are carrying Nigerian passports.
That's a very funny thought, and it's I agree with it, but it's kind of something that he's saying as an act of hyperbole, because really they know they can never do that. They can never do it because they rely heavily on these people coming here and investing in this place. So.
And we ban travels by British Airways to Nigeria and also Virgin Atlantic to Nigeria. Now let us see if the British authorities will not act swiftly to take a second look. The third part of it is the hypocrisy, the discriminatory nature of the red list that has been placed on Nigeria. As of Sunday, Sajid Javid, the health secretary, reported that on Sunday alone, there were 86 new cases of Omicron in the United Kingdom. As of yesterday, that number has increased to 336 in the United Kingdom. And we're told that there's community spread already from region to region within the United Kingdom. So who has more cases of Omicron? Even if we're informed that none of the 336 cases now reported in the United Kingdom has been hospitalized. In other words, so far, science says, the symptoms are mild and moderate and may not necessarily result in hospitalization. So if 3 cases have been reported from Nigeria, there are more cases in the United Kingdom itself. There are more cases in 17 countries in Europe. And yet the United Kingdom has not banned those 17 countries in Europe from, gaining access to the United Kingdom. So those who are talking about hypocrisy and discrimination and travel appetite, they can find justification in that regard. Now, the other dimension, the other part of the spectrum was that yesterday, the UK mission in Nigeria came up with certain clarifications. One, that students and those who want to work and live in the United States, although this application has been paused for the
visitors,
for the oi polloi of Nigeria, those persons who fall into that special category can still apply for visa. And you know how that works. These special visa categories, which countries use to mop up the best and the brightest
talent
persons who can contribute to their own jurisdiction from countries. So they pick and choose the kind of Nigeria, the Nigerians that they want to enter their country. And money is linked to this. It's about profit. People want to go and study in the UK. If you check the population of foreign students in the United Kingdom, maybe apart from India or maybe China, Nigeria will rank very high on the list. In the US too, we contribute the largest number of students paying international fees, to these foreign countries. You only need to take a flight to the UK in September when students are going back, or during the January window. You see many mothers. I don't know why fathers don't follow their children usually. All the flights will be filled up. So they are interested in that, but they are not interested in the feelings of the average Nigerian. And I think, that this profit-oriented diplomacy, is something that is deplorable and that is condemnable in the extreme. Now, they also said previously, the mission had said, well, visas can be given on compassionate grounds, medical grounds, and a window is provided for that. But we have also now been told that if you have done your biometrics at the visa application center, then it means, as Nigerians say, your fees have entered their voicemail.
Yes.
You cannot take it back. But even then, even with a pause in applications, we've now been told that you can apply. But you will keep my passport fees. So you see the United Kingdom, using every method to profit from this. And I think that, look, the matter must be put on record that Nigerians are outraged. It's not just talking heads on television that are protesting. Government itself is protesting. Stakeholders within the travel and tourism industry in Nigeria are protesting. And I hope that the United Kingdom will not play deaf and dumb diplomacy in this regard. We'll pay very close attention to the protest that has been registered. I only take away from this is the fact that they say, well, the ban, the pause is temporary, is subject to review. And we hope that quickly, expeditiously, the United Kingdom will see reason to follow the example of the United States, which has taken a different tack in handling this particular matter. Both for the reasons that this is a knee-jerk reaction, as has been correctly described, and also in the interest of the strong trade and diplomatic relations and the historical and cultural connections between both countries.
For me, when you look at the science strongly, the science doesn't favor the UK. Where you have community spread of Omicron, the UK is even a bigger threat to Nigeria.
Of course.
So based on the science, we'd like to call for a total ban of the UK citizens or people coming from the UK, except, like you said, Dr. But they've got Nigerian passports, to Nigeria, because the UK should not come and populate Nigeria with Omicron COVID variants. Because,
certainly not.
Yes, because that's what they want to do now with the high number of this virus in the UK that has hit community spread. And like you said, Professor Neil Ferguson was speaking, and he said it multiplies tremendously in a 3-day cycle.
It doubles.
It doubles.
Every 3 days.
So that's to show you that there's community spread in the UK. And if we want to follow the science, like we've always called for in all of this conversation, follow the science, there should be a total ban for the UK coming into this country. Secondly, I mean, it just goes to show the massive level of corruption that these so-called people will look up to. It is about us because they know we have the bigger numbers. An average Nigerian student pays nothing less than £13,000
No,
in tuition.
it's more than that.
It's more than that.
Yes.
13 to 15,000. 17,000 pounds. I mean,
for some courses,
depending
19,000 to
depending
20,000
on the school, Dr. Abati. I say an average Nigerian student, because not all of them will go to the A-list schools. There are some schools that still charge 12,000 pounds. That, the average Nigerian student, or 13,000 pounds, the average Nigerian student.
Now, it's so funny that he said that, because that's exactly what I mentioned earlier, brain drain. I mean, people are paying their hard-earned money to get these educational certificates and all of these courses and things that they're taking in the UK in order to have their credentials and be able to really impact their society. But then are they coming back home and bringing that knowledge? It looks like Nigeria is a place where people do come back home. Quite a few people I've met here are expatriates who have returned here and looking to build up industries that are already involved. But to think that there's a travel ban, despite the fact that there's so much money being spent on education, it just shows you that there's no value put on the immigration of Nigerians to the UK. The UK does not recognize it as valuable to them to continue to educate Black African people, regardless of what price they pay for education. Regardless of what they pay to do business, none of that stuff is important. And I would say that goes for the US too. But we have our own internal issues because we have so many Black African people that are living within the borders. But it seems like there isn't really a value from the European perspective in continuing to invest in our education when Africa is looking to surpass Europe and the United States. So I feel like this point that he's making is a great point, because it does help you understand that brain drain is a very real phenomenon and something that people are paying to leave their homes to get education that can't even really be used here, some of it. And then that education which could be used here is usually being used to help the superpower. And I feel like Nigeria is a place where brain drain happens daily. People are leaving here every day to go pursue something, and then who knows if they ever come back. Like even my friend, I said, "Hey, girl, are you gonna come back?" She's like, "Maybe in a year or two." People don't have any real Nigerian people that live here. It seems like they don't really have a value in staying here to pursue their education and their professions because it doesn't pay. And that's a whole other conversation about corruption of the government and why certain jobs don't pay and why the economy is so weak and why the Naira is so weak. Even though it's doing better than it was, it's still weak. And these conversations have to be had because everything is assessed against Europeans. Everything is assessed against the pound and the dollar. And so for that reason, even if a student is spending 13,000 pounds on education, it's not valuable because unless they're going to be doing something that helps the superpower grow, that small amount of money is not really due now. I guess it's all about the body of students and the amount of people that are paying into these UK educational facilities, but it's like if you can't stay home and go to Unilag and be respected, then you have to go to Oxford or wherever the hell you go to be respected in your own country. Now that is a question for Nigerian employers and Nigerian government. Why do people have to leave this place to come back and be impactful with the white man's degree? So that's really where we're at with this, and it's really crazy. Let's just let him finish up, and I'm going to wrap up this video.
So they will pay.
Maybe you are talking about metropolitan.
So just imagine that.
Such an intellectual.
So just imagine that. £13,000 coupled with another $3,000. That if you want a Nigerian to come in, and we all know the stories that came out of these hotels, these COVID hotels, how they were linked to Tory donors. So we are seeing the corruption that is going on right here. Thirdly, we are also seeing the lack of respect for us as a people.
Zero.
There we go.
Zero
That
respect,
part. That
dehumanization.
part.
And this behoves on our leaders that have the chance to change our country and make it better and make it able to compete effectively, but they waste the chance because of their personal interest. Isn't this treatment of Nigeria enough for you to take a new leaf and do well by the people? Because the so-called West that we all run to when we carry out looted funds in this country don't care about us. The so-called West that we go to stash up big monies in their bank accounts don't care about us. So isn't it time for us to change this dynamics? And isn't this time for us to stop this neo-colonialism and neo-imperialism that is happening again?
I love their faces because everyone is thinking the same thing, but he is the only person. I got to get his name. These guys are on every day in the morning, and I love watching them, but not him. The gentleman who's speaking. I mean,
It is obvious that our leaders should take a leaf from what Professor Tomori stated yesterday in his speech. He broke down crying. And he told the glowing tales of how he lived in utopian Nigeria. He called it the UN. How a child that was the 39th child in his family, albeit from a father that was a
wait a
farmer.
second. Did the man just say he was the 39th? The gentleman that was making this comment was the 39th person in his family? Jeez. Now you know he's Fulani. You know he's Hausa. His family was his dad was a farmer. Got to have like 3 or 4 wives, 10 kids each. I don't know. It's crazy. It's 9 to 10 kids each. I mean, we are fertile. Can't lie.
Had a chance at education because of the policy of Bafemi Awolowo, free education policy. And then you could go through the educational rung up to professorial level. He told the glowing tales of how in this same Nigeria, after leaving Abu in Zaria, 5 days after, he got a job and he started working. But can we say that Nigeria is like that today? In the first place, why are citizens even queuing up to go look for work in the UK when we have over 68 million hectares of arable land? So while we call out neo-colonialism, while we call out neo-imperialism, we should also look inward at leadership. Are we treating Nigerians right? Darren Acemoglu said in his book, "Why do nations fail? Because their leaders make them fail." Why is Nigeria in this position? The leaders should introspect. His teaching time saves 9. That's all on News Headline. We take a short break. When we return, we'll have Michael Wilson here at Akejal to give us updates on global business, sport, and activities across the globe. Stay with us.
Okay, guys, as you can see, and now I have to go. I actually have to leave. This place is closing. It's so crazy. Like, it's one thing about Nigeria is you can't get anyone to accommodate you unless you pay money. So if I wanted to stay here, I could pay a couple 3,000 or 4,000 naira more to stay about 3 or 4 hours. But it's not necessary because I'm about done with what I was doing. I had my call earlier. But as you can see, Nigerians are furious at the fact that they can't travel to the UK, and the UK is saying, well, you can do what you want. If you want to travel and you have the passport and the credentials and the visa, you can come, but it's going to cost you $3,000 on top of the fact that you're going to have to pay for education that, we probably don't have a job for you. So you can pay for this education and bring it back to your country if you want, or you could just stay home and not come because that's what we really want you to do. So I think that I think that we have to understand what's going on here. It's blackness. And at the end of the day, that's really all it comes down to. I'm a black beauty and I am out. I have to get going. But yeah, it just it's unfortunate that so many Nigerians have to look abroad to come back. But I feel like that is the story of Jamaica. That is the story of Trinidad, Haiti. I mean, I know so many Haitians, and every last one or a lawyer or this or that, some kind of engineer, and none of them are in Haiti, and Haiti is in shambles. So it's our responsibility to take what we have and to continue to build our communities. And it's times like this where we have to recognize where our community is. Our community is not in the UK, it's not in the US, it's at home. A Black Beauty is out. Peace.